Okay, so this is what we're using for today's knotless braids. We have our braid rack. This is the Easy Braid braiding hair. Make sure you actually get this from the store and not Amazon, because sometimes it will come generic, and the ones in the store are anti-itch, pre-washed. We're going in with the Style Factor. When you go to the store to buy your Style Factor, make sure you're getting the one that say extra strength and moisture rich pomade, thick and coarse hair. This will hold your hair. The other one, it has a water base in it. It's not gonna hold your hair as well. So make sure you get the thick and coarse hair rich pomade, moisture rich pomade. And then for hydration, we're using jojoba oil. Okay? Get you a few clips. Make sure your comb is a parting comb. You need a parting comb and a comb to comb out to it for detangling. This is what we're using today, okay? First things first, I'm gonna section out my hair. Going straight down the middle. Reason being because this is gonna give us some idea with evenness and balance. I do not want some braids bigger than the others, some braids smaller. I want consistency and balance throughout my whole head, because it's going to look like we went just to the hair salon in our bathroom.
Is this yours?
Oh yeah, this should be straight, but make sure you have your hand mirror. Let me grab it real quick, 1 second. Okay. Good. So in front of me, in front of us, we have our mirror bathroom and we have our hand mirror. You guys see that? You can see I have my mirror bathroom in front of me. This is going to make sure we have clean parts and it looks professional and crisp. I'm going in with a 27 and a 30. And you can use what you want to use, but I'm using a 27 and 30, and I'm not mixing them. I'm gonna do my single like color combo highlight situation, okay? But you can mix what you want to mix. This is how we're boarding our hair. Pay attention. We're going in with very small, consistent pieces. The reason why we're using consistent sizes when putting boarding our our braiding rack, is because as we're feeding in the hair, we want our braids to be evenly proportioned. We can always grab more pieces of section of hair if we need it, but at least we know we're grabbing a consistent amount of hair each time. Notice how I'm putting a section on one peg and then I go in and I put a section over 2 pegs. This gives me more usage out of my peg because I'm working from a small area and we're in our bathroom, okay? Once you get your part straight from ear to ear, go in with your pomade to help keep your flyaways out of your part, because our hair is freshly washed, so it has a lot of body to it. At least it should. That's a different tutorial. Clip this stuff out the way. Double checking my part. I have everything sectioned for my next part. Just clean this little area up. Always just clean up as you see fit as you go, right? So this nape area right here, I'm gonna take it and split it in half. That's the size of the knotless braids that I'm gonna be doing. And I can see that my part is straight. Cool. I'm gonna just clip this out the way. Go on with your pomade. Apply it on the root, not your scalp, your root. If you apply it on your scalp, you're going to clog your pores and defeat some of the purposes and benefits of you wearing a protective style. Because healthy scalp, healthy hair starts with a healthy scalp. And I can tell like we're a little too high and we're also a little slanted. So I want to go in and just kind of clean this up a little bit. Go in with your hair hydration, which I'm using jojoba oil on my shaft. Don't use a pomade on your shaft unless you are just trying to use a little bit for the tucking purposes when you're braiding. You want to use something that's going to hydrate and nourish your hair, okay? Let me just check this. Okay, we're good. Notice how I'm taking just a little bit of pomade that's on the end of the braid, just to get it laid in the braid. Because I have blunt ends, I trim my ends, I stay trimming them. Just go down, just kind of grab the excess ends off and trash it as you go. You notice a little too much tangly, I like to keep like some oil, the hydration on my fingertips. It helps just keep those ends smoothed out while braiding. And I always check my braid with my hand mirror and make sure it's the way I would like it. And that's what we got. Okay. And we're gonna go ahead and do the next two and then go on to the next section.
Hey, Meta. They're gorgeous. So nice. Violation. Red, card, and cut.
Your parts boxes should lay like bricks. That's a little better, but I still just want to like clean this part right here up some. So I'm just gonna grab the end of my rat tail comb and pull that little piece out. This part of my finger, and I kind of use that as my guideline as to where I'm parting. Okay. I'm gonna go on with my pomade to help keep things in place as I'm working. I just clip up every other section. then make sure I use the comb to smooth it out. Smooth in my pomade. I did my split of 3 already, and in this root area, I tend to kind of go in and tug at it just to get everything bonding and make sure I'm at the root when I start plaiting. I'm gonna go under my index finger and above this next section here. Can you see that okay? I bring the braid to the front of me once I get it to a certain length for better control and consistency of the part. You see this and this? I've already hydrated my ends, so I don't mind going in with my pomade and tucking some of the braid hair like that. So that way this is not being exposed. My ends are not being exposed. It takes some practice, so be patient with yourself. Put some hydration on my palms, on my fingertips, because the braiding hair can tend to be a little rough when braiding, and it tends to just make the process a little smoother. Go straight down and detangle those ends as you're braiding every now and then. Otherwise, you'll end up tangled like that, and you don't want that. That's a headache, okay? So every now and then, just go through and smooth it out. As I'm getting further down the braid, I'm gonna bring it to the front of me and keep going with my braid consistency. It can be a little tougher tucking this blonde, tucking the ends on blonde hair, the lighter color of the hair. Just position the hair how you see fit to be able to get it tucked. All right. Okay, and let's just keep going. If this is something that you notice you would like to be able to do, but can use more help in tips or guidance live, then make sure you go back to the link in my bio and join the school community, because we go live there. All right, so we have our first section, this section here. So I ain't gonna lie to you, but don't tell nobody I told you. Honestly, I really like ideally for the hair to be tucked, not showing throughout the braid. But since we're doing this ourselves, we can only do that to a certain extent, where I was able to at least tuck in the ends, okay, from poking out the braid. This is a DIY, literally, on yourself. A do-it-yourself on yourself type of ordeal. So we can only do so much, right? But we're still going to have that professional look, because throughout the rest of the head, I'm only going to go in with the 27, actually the 30, which is this color, for the perimeter areas. I will only use the 27 for the rest of the head, since I can't tuck my actual hair color in the root area, in the inner portions of my hair, just so that we still have some of this showing at the end, that highlight look going on. I just don't like it too polka dotty. So remember I said we're parting down the middle because our sections are going to be balanced. My next section, I'm going to start from the corner of my eyebrow area, my arch eyebrow area, and I'm going to bring it around to the center of the part. And then I'm going to go in and clean up that part to the center. Now keep in mind our heads curve, so follow the curve of your head when you're parting. Okay, see how I stop right here to the middle? I'm going to use my mirror to go in and just double check my part, double check my section. I'm going to go in and just kind of bring this up a little bit higher, because I know this is coming down right here and I want it to be, you know. Okay, and then we're going to split this section in two and keep going. So right here, we're going to go in and split this section in half all the way around and repeat that same structured parting concept. This way our parts are even and the same size all the way around the head. I don't know, I feel like when it comes to braids, the parts is the most important thing. If the parts ain't cool, ain't nothing cool. The foundation, the parts. And I'm applying my pomade as I go, just to keep the hair up there, because I'm not clipping it yet. And she like it. Okay, you see that? Is it straight? Let me just clean that little piece up right there. Okay. Okay, cool. So now I'm gonna go on this other side. And I'm not really focused, as long as I have pretty much like the section evenly balanced. I'm not too focused on the parting that much for this part, because I'm probably gonna most likely clean it up when I get up here anyways. Let's focus on the split section right here. Okay. So I'm gonna fix my center part. You see that? I'm looking at it in the mirror and you can see it in the camera, right? You see it on your screen? That dip. So I'm gonna take my fingers as my guide to where I wanna be and the section that I need to. I want to come up a little bit, and this is the section that I'm fixing, so I'm putting my fingers right here while I part. All right, so when doing your box, you want it to start in the middle, or you want to be consistent as to where your box is laying, your braid lays. So ideally start in the middle. Some people start like in the middle, I mean like the center of the box section. Some people start at the bottom. Some people are way too close to the perimeter. Just center it. Center your section when you do your 3 splits. And remember I said I'm going in with my 30 on my perimeters, and I'm keeping the blonde on the inner areas of my head because I can't tuck my roots. Your 3 splits. start your braid. Under the index finger. Okay, because it's getting kind of long, I'm going to go ahead and bring it to the front of me. Notice how I turned the angle of the braid to keep the consistency of the braid. All right. Mm-hmm. Look, when we can't tuck, I prefer for the lighter colors. If all my hair is not tucked throughout the entire braid, I prefer for it to be in the center because it's more camouflaged. It just looks decent. I just don't like that polka dot look. It takes away from the professionalism. And I'm gonna use my finger to use the guidance to where I want my box to end. They like bricks. We'll clip that out the way. I want to clean that part up just a little bit more. Okay. Cool. It's just a little past. That's cool right there. In between the other two, right? Okay, now we're on the last section. I'm on the very last box braid. I've already gone in and worked my way up, meeting in the center, completing my rows. I'm gonna do this last one. I'm gonna use the tangling comb to get that combed through. Remember to smooth out each side of your box because it just looks better and lasts better. Split into 3. And start the plait. And just start feeding in your hair. Alright, so when it comes to the ends, hope y'all can hear me okay. Everybody's asleep. I slither the ends. Notice how it's not blunt cut. You want to go downward in a slithering motion to the length you want the braid to be. Okay, and I'm just kind of checking my ends, like I don't want that happening, you know? So I'm just going in and checking my ends.